The Steadfast Man. Let's be honest, modern dating is chaotic. Women today are constantly surrounded by options. Their inboxes are full of messages, compliments, and invitations. Social media and dating apps have created a nonstop stream of attention. And yet, despite all these tools, most men still struggle to stand out. Why? Because they lack consistency. Most men are inconsistent. They flake out, break promises, and give up when things get hard. Women notice this. Over time, they have learned not to trust easily. They expect men to disappear when things get uncomfortable, whether it's after a few dates or a few months. That's why a man who shows up, follows through, and sticks to his word is such a rare and powerful force. Being steadfast doesn't mean being robotic or emotionally distant. It means being dependable. It means doing what you say you'll do, not just once, but every time. In today's dating world, reliability is one of the most attractive traits a man can possess. It signals strength, stability, and maturity. Start with the small things. If you say you'll text her, text her. If you say you'll call at a certain time, do it. Be a man whose words carry weight. In a world full of men who say one thing and do another, your consistency becomes magnetic. Women don't just want attention. They want emotional safety. They want to know the man they're investing in won't vanish when life gets tough. When you are steadfast, you become the one she can rely on, not just for affection, but for emotional security. This doesn't mean you need to be perfect. It means you need to be present and grounded. Show her that you are rooted in your values, that your actions are aligned with your words, and that you can be trusted over time. In a dating world full of unpredictability and emotional chaos, the steadfast man is a lighthouse. He stands tall, calm, and clear, offering safety in the storm. Be that man, and you won't just attract women, you'll earn their respect, their admiration, and most importantly, their trust. Confidence, we've all heard it before. Confidence is attractive. But what does that really mean? It's not about being arrogant, loud, or the center of attention. True confidence is much deeper. It's the quiet, steady belief that you are enough as you are. It's the kind of presence that doesn't need to be announced. You walk into a room and people feel it. This kind of confidence is rare, and that's exactly why it stands out. In today's world, so many men are constantly trying to prove themselves. They look for validation through success, looks, or approval from others. But here's the problem. When your sense of worth depends on outside factors, it becomes fragile. Take away the job, the status, or the praise, and your confidence crumbles. Women are highly sensitive to this. They're not just looking at what you have, they're watching how you carry yourself. When you are comfortable in your skin, when you don't seek approval or chase validation, it sends a powerful signal. It says, I know who I am. I don't need you to tell me. This is refreshing to women, especially because many of them struggle with their own insecurities. When they meet a man who is emotionally stable and secure within himself, it makes them feel safe. It also makes you stand out from the countless men who base their confidence on how much attention they receive. So how do you build this kind of inner confidence? It starts with keeping promises to yourself. Set goals, even small ones, and follow through. Each time you do what you said you would, you prove to yourself that you are dependable. Over time, this builds trust in yourself, which becomes the foundation of lasting confidence. Remember, confidence is not about being perfect. It's about owning who you are, flaws, failures, and all. It's about walking into every situation knowing that your value doesn't change based on what others think. When a woman sees this kind of quiet self-assurance, she feels it. She is drawn to it because it makes her feel secure. Confidence, when it's real and earned from within, is magnetic. Ambition. Ambition is one of the most powerful and underrated traits a man can possess. In a world where comfort and complacency are often encouraged, a man with ambition immediately stands out. He's the one who refuses to settle, who's always reaching for something greater, and who lives with purpose. That kind of energy is magnetic. Women are naturally drawn to ambitious men, not because they expect wealth or status, but because ambition signals direction. It shows that you have a vision for your life, that you're building something, and that you're not content with staying where you are. Ambition makes a woman feel like she's joining a man on a meaningful journey. But here's the truth. Ambition doesn't have to mean starting a million-dollar business or working yourself to exhaustion. It's not about having a flashy job title or chasing external rewards. It's about having goals, standards, and a refusal to live passively. Whether you're trying to advance in your career, improve your health, or develop a new skill, What matters is that you are constantly growing. Too many men say they're ambitious but never back it up with action. Talk is cheap. Ambition has to be seen and felt. You show it by how you live, how you speak, and how you carry yourself every day. If you want to be seen as ambitious, you must consistently take steps forward even when no one is watching. Set short-term and long-term goals for yourself. They don't have to be huge, but they should push you out of your comfort zone. Whether it's earning a new certification, waking up earlier to build a morning routine, or starting a passion project, show her that you're a man who's going somewhere. Ambition also shows that you have discipline. It proves that you can delay gratification, stay focused, and overcome obstacles. These are the kinds of traits that make women feel inspired and secure in your presence. When a woman sees you chasing your goals and living with intention, she doesn't just admire you, she wants to be part of your mission. So never apologize for your drive. Own it, sharpen it, and let your ambition speak for itself. The bad boy. There's no denying it, women are drawn to the bad boy type. But it's not because they want someone who mistreats them. What really attracts them is the energy the bad boy gives off. He's unpredictable, mysterious, and emotionally in control. He doesn't play by the rules, and that makes him impossible to ignore. The bad boy doesn't seek approval. He doesn't apologize for who he is or constantly explain himself. He has his own life, his own priorities, and he doesn't revolve around any one woman. That kind of emotional independence is incredibly attractive. It gives off the message that he's a challenge, someone who can't be fully figured out or controlled. Women aren't just looking for someone nice. They want someone exciting, someone who stirs their emotions and keeps them curious. The bad boy knows how to create emotional highs and lows. That doesn't mean he plays games, but he naturally creates an emotional roller coaster simply by being grounded in his own world. He doesn't overshare. He doesn't chase. He lets her come to him. You don't need to be rude or dismissive to channel the qualities of a bad boy. What you do need is self-control. Don't reveal everything about yourself right away. Keep a little mystery. Let her wonder what you're thinking, where you are, or what your next move will be. That intrigue builds attraction. Another important trait of the bad boy is emotional stability. When she gets upset, he stays calm. When she's overly excited, he stays grounded. His mood isn't dictated by hers. That emotional strength is what keeps her coming back. It makes her feel like she's dealing with a man who's unshaken by drama. Being a bad boy doesn't mean being toxic. It means being a man who knows his value, keeps his cool, and refuses to be emotionally swayed. The more control you have over your emotions and your energy, the more powerfully women respond to you. So take the best qualities of the bad boy mystery independence and control and use them with integrity. You don't need to be cruel. Just be untouchable and watch how women respond to the challenge. Ignored attention. Here's something most men don't realize: attention is everywhere. And because of that, it's lost its value. Women today are surrounded by it. Their social media is filled with likes, comments, and direct messages. They can get validation at any moment from anyone. So when you give attention freely and constantly, it doesn't make you stand out. It makes you blend in. That's the truth. Attention is no longer rare, and anything that's easy to get becomes less meaningful. When you're the guy who immediately showers a woman with compliments, likes every post, and responds instantly to every message you're giving her, what she's already used to, there's no challenge, no spark, and no intrigue. But when you hold back your attention, when you make it something she has to earn, it becomes powerful. It creates scarcity. And in human psychology, scarcity equals value. The less accessible something is, the more we want it. This applies to your time, your energy, and your attention. Women may not admit it, but they enjoy the chase just as much as men do. When you don't immediately give her what she expects, whether that's instant replies, nonstop compliments, or excessive validation, she starts to wonder why. That curiosity pulls her in. She begins to invest in you emotionally, trying to figure out what makes you different. Now, this doesn't mean ignoring her completely or playing games. It means being intentional. Stop giving out free attention to every woman. Stop liking every photo, replying to every message instantly, or constantly reaching out. Let her reach out to you. Let her wonder where you are and what you're doing. That mystery builds attraction. Your attention should be earned, not given away. When you treat it like a valuable currency, women will start to value it too. Make her feel that your focus is something she has to work for, not because you're trying to manipulate her, but because you respect your own energy. The moment you stop giving women what every other man gives, without question, is the moment they start seeing you differently. Create distance, build curiosity, and let your silence speak. Your attention is a gift. Treat it that way, and she will too. Pre-selection, there's a reason why women often find themselves more attracted to men who are already in relationships or constantly surrounded by other women. It's not just coincidence, it's psychology. This phenomenon is called pre-selection, and it plays a powerful role in female attraction. When a woman sees that other women are drawn to you, it sends a strong signal to her brain. You must have value. If others want you, there must be something worth wanting. It's the same principle behind why people line up outside a popular restaurant. They assume the food must be good if everyone else is interested. Pre-selection activates a woman's competitive instincts. Whether she realizes it or not, she starts wondering what it is about you that makes other women attracted to you. That curiosity alone can increase her desire. You suddenly appear more desirable, more intriguing, and more worth her attention. This is why men who are already in committed relationships often receive more attention from other women. It's not that women want to break up the relationship, it's that the man's desirability has been validated by someone else. His social value is confirmed, and that makes him more appealing. You don't have to be in a relationship to leverage pre-selection. Surround yourself with high-value women, even if they are just friends. When a woman sees you interacting confidently with other attractive, well-respected women, it raises your perceived status. It tells her you are comfortable around women, that women trust you, and that you have something they find worthwhile. This doesn't mean you should brag about your female friends or use them as props. It means living a life where you naturally attract quality people. Build friendships with women based on mutual respect and shared interests. Let those relationships speak for your character and your value. When a woman sees that you're already desired by others, she won't be able to help but wonder why. That mystery, that social proof, taps into something primal. Suddenly, you're no longer just another option. You're the option she can't stop thinking about. Pre-selection is real. Use it wisely, and it can quietly elevate your status without you saying a word. Masculinity. Masculinity is often misunderstood in today's world. Some think it means being aggressive or dominant, while others believe it's outdated or even toxic. But real masculinity isn't about overpowering others. It's about strength, both physical and emotional, and it's something women are biologically drawn to, whether they admit it or not. At its core, masculinity is about stability. It's about being grounded, confident, and in control of your emotions. A truly masculine man doesn't get rattled by every little inconvenience. He doesn't fall apart when things don't go his way. Instead, he remains composed, calm, and capable under pressure. This kind of emotional strength is incredibly attractive. Women want to feel safe, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. They want to be with a man who can handle life's chaos without crumbling. A man who knows who he is, stands firm in his beliefs, and doesn't need to explain or justify every decision. That's real masculine energy. It's quiet, strong, and unwavering. In today's dating world, many men are overly emotional. They let their feelings control them, react impulsively, and become unstable in the face of adversity. But that instability creates discomfort, not attraction. Women need to know that you can weather the storm, that you are the rock when everything else feels uncertain. To develop your masculinity, start by taking full responsibility for your life. Stop blaming others. Stop making excuses and start owning your choices. Be decisive. When a challenge arises, face it with strength and clarity instead of fear or indecision. And above all, learn to manage your emotions. Emotional control is not suppression, it's mastery. Being masculine also means having direction. You know where you're going, and you're not waiting for permission to lead. Whether it's in your work relationships or personal growth, your path is your own. That sense of purpose radiates strength, and women can feel it. You don't need to be loud to be masculine. You just need to be solid. When a woman senses that you are rooted in who you are, she feels safe. And safety for a woman is everything. Masculinity, when expressed through strength, stability, and purpose, is one of the most attractive traits a man can offer. Charismatic leadership. Women are naturally drawn to leaders. This doesn't mean you need to be the CEO of a company or a high-powered executive. Leadership is not about status, it's about energy. It's about taking charge, guiding a situation with confidence, and making decisions without constantly second-guessing yourself. Charismatic leadership is one of the most magnetic qualities a man can develop. When a man steps up and leads, it sends a clear message. He knows who he is and where he's going. That sense of direction is incredibly attractive. Women want to feel like they are part of something meaningful. They want a man who can make decisions, handle challenges, and navigate life with clarity and control. When you take the lead, you create a space where she can relax, trust, and follow. Charismatic leadership isn't about barking orders or demanding control. It's about leading with calm confidence. It's about being the kind of man who makes others feel secure in his presence. You bring steadiness to the room. You make people feel seen, heard, and guided. That blend of strength and warmth is what makes leadership charismatic, not cold. In dating, this means planning the date, taking initiative, and confidently steering the conversation. It means knowing what you want without being controlling and listening without being passive. Too many men put women in the driver's seat and constantly ask, "What do you want to do?" or "Is this okay?" While being respectful is important, always deferring decisions can come across as weak or uncertain. A strong leader creates a dynamic where a woman feels inspired and safe at the same time. She doesn't have to wonder if you're capable. She sees it in how you move, how you speak, and how you handle yourself. To build your leadership energy, start by making decisions with conviction. Take ownership of your life. Set a clear vision for where you're headed and act in alignment with that vision. When you lead yourself well, others will naturally be drawn to follow. Charismatic leadership is not about control. It's about presence, purpose, and confidence. And when you embody it, you don't need to chase women. They'll feel your energy and want to be part of your world. Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is one of the most overlooked traits in modern masculinity, yet it is one of the most powerful. Many men confuse it with being overly sensitive or emotional, but true emotional intelligence is about awareness and control. It's the ability to understand your own emotions, recognize the emotions of others, and respond in a way that builds trust, connection, and stability. Women are emotional beings. That's not a stereotype, it's biology. They process the world through feelings and intuition. When they connect with a man who understands that who doesn't panic when emotions run high and who can stay present during emotional moments, they feel safe. And safety is the foundation of attraction. Too many men, when faced with a woman's emotions, try to fix the problem right away. But most of the time, she doesn't want a solution, she wants to be heard. She wants to feel understood. When you listen without interrupting, validate her feelings, and simply hold space for her, you're showing emotional maturity that most men never reach. Emotional intelligence also means knowing how to manage your own feelings. A man who gets angry over small things, who reacts impulsively, or who lets frustration control his behavior is not seen as strong, he's seen as unstable. On the other hand, a man who can stay calm under pressure, who responds thoughtfully instead of reacting emotionally, radiates power. One of the most attractive things you can do is remain composed when things get heated. Whether she is upset, anxious, or emotional, your ability to stay grounded and non-judgmental builds a deep sense of trust. She knows you can handle the emotional weight of a relationship without falling apart. To build emotional intelligence, practice self-awareness. Pay attention to how you feel in different situations and how you typically respond. When emotions rise, pause before speaking or acting. Choose your response instead of being controlled by impulse. Also become a better listener. Not to fix, but to understand. Ask questions. Stay curious about her experience. Emotional intelligence isn't about being soft. It's about being strong enough to stay open, present, and grounded even when things get uncomfortable. When you master this, you don't just attract women, you connect with them in a way that most men never will. Passionate interests, where she is magnetic. When a man is genuinely excited about something, whether it's his career, a hobby, a mission, or personal growth, women can feel that energy. Passion shows that you have purpose, direction, and drive. It proves you're not just drifting through life. You're lit up from within, and that inner fire is what draws people in, especially women. But here's the key, your passion must be real. You can't fake it to impress anyone. Women have a natural ability to sense when a man is pretending. They're not interested in someone who adopts fake interests just to gain attention. What they're drawn to is authenticity, the kind of passion that exists whether they're watching or not. When you fully immerse yourself in something you love, you don't need to talk about it constantly. It shows in how you live, how you speak, and how you carry yourself. That enthusiasm becomes contagious. It makes people curious about what drives you. And for women, it signals that you're building a life that matters. The best part is that your passion doesn't need to match hers. You just need to have something you deeply care about. Whether it's building a business, playing an instrument, learning a craft, or working out consistently, your commitment to growth and purpose is what makes you stand out. Pursue your interests for you, not to impress her. When a woman sees that your life already has meaning and momentum, she'll want to be a part of it. Passion creates gravity. It pulls people in without you needing to chase them. If you want to succeed in modern relationships, the first step is to stop chasing and start building. Attraction isn't about tricks or constant validation. It's about who you become. Start by being steadfast. Be the kind of man who keeps his word, shows up on time, and stands firm even when things get tough. This consistency makes you rare. Next, build confidence from the inside out. Don't rely on compliments, job titles, or social approval. Confidence is built through small, daily wins, keeping promises to yourself and showing up even when it's uncomfortable. Pair that with ambition. Stop settling. Start setting goals that stretch you, whether it's your career, fitness, or personal growth. Show that you're moving towards something bigger than yourself. Then learn the power of mystery and emotional control. You don't have to share everything or be overly available. A little unpredictability keeps the spark alive and shows you value your own time. Don't hand out attention for free. When you make your attention scarce, it becomes more valuable. Women will respect and desire it more. Surround yourself with quality people, especially women who admire you for who you are. Their presence alone raises your social proof even if nothing romantic happens. At the same time, tap into your masculine energy by taking responsibility, managing your emotions, and standing firm in adversity. Leadership matters too. Learn to guide, not follow, especially in your interactions. And perhaps most importantly, develop emotional intelligence. Learn to listen, not just to respond, but to truly understand. Emotional steadiness builds deep trust. Finally, pursue something you love, something that ignites your passion. A man with purpose is deeply attractive without saying a word. When you live with direction, calm power, and authenticity, women will naturally be drawn to you. You won't need to impress anyone. You'll be living a life that speaks for itself.